Hi, everybody. Welcome to another edition of the East Palestine Coach's Corner Football Edition with the head ball coach, Tony Foster. Week 1, Malvern. How are we feeling? How are we stacking up this year as a Bulldog?
Well, we are young. We've got some young linemen. We've got some experience in our skill positions, our running backs, and our defensive backfield. We've got experience there, but we've got a lot of youth with our defensive front and our linebackers and our offensive line. So we've got to worry about us and make sure that we improve every week and make sure that we continuously strive to get better and play within ourselves.
Got some returners in some skill positions, so they should be able to provide some valuable leadership and some, I want to say experience, but maybe help the younger guys out along the way. You've got a freshman quarterback, very well known in the town, Yuriachi. For anybody that knows East Palestine history, knows that that's an athletic family.
Yeah, absolutely. But hi, Sophia.
Sophia's home.
Hi.
But when you look at football, it's a different animal than other sports, just because of the physicality of it, and as a 14-year-old young man compared to an 18-year-old young man, there's a lot of growth that happens in that 4-year period. So yes, he's athletic. He's not right now. He's nowhere near what he's going to be 4 years from now.
Right.
So he's got to again play within himself. He tried to move the other day that I said, listen, buddy, I know where you've seen that. You can't do that. Not right now. Maybe in a year, maybe in 2 years. I said, but right now, you can't do that. So he's learning. But again, we're not going to ask him to go out and win games. We're going to ask him to distribute the ball, and take care of it and manage.
But the last time you had a 14-year-old quarterback in a situation like this turned out pretty well for you. Do you think that there's a lot of similarities between an Owen Yuriachi and a Parker Sherry?
There's some. I'll give Parker some credit. He definitely has given Owen some tutelage and has worked with him quite a bit, and tried to help him out, and so it's awesome to see him, Parker, give him back, and they had a nice relationship. Owen was around all the time with his dad, helping coach and being the ball boy and whatnot. So it's awesome to see that Parker's trying to head Owen down the right path and pay it forward and look after his alma mater.
I love it. Do your job. That is the motto of this year's team. Bill Belichick, it comes from a little bit of that, but really it comes down to, if everybody does their job, good things will happen.
Yeah, absolutely. I remember when I was young, coaching at Hilliard Derby, and one of our defensive coaches got the whole defense on the sidelines and was lighting into him after we had a not so stellar start, and he said, "Here's the adjustment we need to make," and he draws out on the board. Just do your job. Quit worrying about everybody else's and what so and so is doing. This is your job. This is your responsibility. If you take care of this, and everybody else takes care of theirs, it all comes together nice. But there's the growth as a team that you've got to trust that, yeah, your teammate has got your back and he's going to do his job and carry through with what he's supposed to do. So that's again, we want to focus on that and make sure that we just, again, play within ourselves and not worry about all the other stuff. Just take care of your responsibility, do your job.
Week 1 against Malvern, you jump on the bus, you head over there. Not an opponent we know a whole lot about, but we know that they're up this year. It seems like they've got some good numbers and some good talent on their roster. How do we keep them in check and walk out with a victory here in Week 1?
Well, not knowing what Malvern was going to look like this year, you get your Week 1 opponent, and Friday night we get some film, and they've got themselves a team. They got themselves a real nice team. So ball control will be our friend.
Yeah.
We need to be able to execute and take advantage of some of the situations that they provide an offense, and we need to not make mistakes, secure the ball, and have ball control. So if we can do that, that gives us our best shot of success. And defensively, again, we need to be able to hold the line. They're going to have some upperclassmen that are, again, 18-year-old young men that are, 6'5", 280, 6'4", 230, that we're going to have to deal with. So we're going to have to be technicians, and that's what we've been telling the kids all week. It doesn't matter, if they're bigger than you, they're stronger than you, and they're faster than you. Well, where are you going to find your advantage? You've got to be a technician.
Yep.
So they've got to use the tools that we've been giving them, and they have to be technicians. And if somebody's bigger and taller and stronger, well, you take away that advantage with leverage, and use the techniques and some of the tricks that we try to make sure that they have in their pockets, and that's how we approach it.
So when you look at this summer, it's been a challenge because we're starting in week 0 this year for football, because now that everything's been extended. You got 10 weeks. We only had 6 games really to worry about last year until you could make up games. Opting out of the playoffs in East Palestine's case, you were able to make up some games. We got ourselves a victory. Mm-hmm. From this standpoint, is it a little bit more challenging knowing that football, even a week early, week 0 as we're calling it, is it kind of surreal to you that as we sit here at 11:39 on a Thursday night, that you're less than 24 hours away from kickoff here to start 2021?
Yeah, I mean, it seems like we should be starting in and having another week of 2 days and practice with a young team. Obviously, I could use that time, and we could definitely take advantage of that time. But the same token, nobody has it, so we're all in the same boat. But especially with a young team, though. Sure would be nice.
I can only imagine. I mean, everybody seems to have that.
Right.
We wish we had one more week. You know what I mean? And I think every coach would say, "Oh, one more day. You're never quite prepared." Interesting story that you shared earlier this summer. You had a little bit of a kind of connection to the Cleveland Browns, and now with not just the colors anymore, but you were able to head over to the Browns facility on a special invitation and brought home some gear for the kids, some new stuff.
Yeah, it was awesome. I got an email from their youth football director, and he invited us to a free garage sale. And I was on a Saturday morning. I think I got the email on a Thursday night, and I wasn't sure whether it should end up in my spam or. Is this something that is worthwhile to check out? So I contemplated it a little bit, and I thought, you know what? I'm going to go because this could be a gold mine and I'm going to miss out on it. So I had another coach that had the Saturday free, and he rode up with me. And I'll tell you what, it was fantastic. There was probably, I think, 50 programs in the area got the invite, and I think maybe 15 showed up about the time that we got there. And they let us in, and the Browns had old practice pants, practice jerseys. You know, it's old to them, but it's new stuff to us, and it's top of the line gear. They had tennis shoes and cleats, and you know, just compression shirts, compression shorts. Just it was a fantastic trip. We went in, and you know, we probably I think we ended up with 22 pair of cleats / shoes combination. Some were brand new, some were slightly used, gently used, but you know, a lot of kids that were going to have to go out and get cleats. They didn't have to get cleats.
That's awesome.
Because we took them, brought them home and handed them out. And then at the very end, we loaded up all of our gear, and I said to the guy, Daryl, I said, hey, I saw these chairs when we were coming in. I said, are those available? He said, nah, those aren't. But I've got some orange ones in the back. I thought, awesome, this is even better. So I loaded up as much as I could in my truck. I think I had 26 chairs and all the other gear. You know, I had it heaped up on my truck heading down the turnpike. Probably looked like the Beverly Hillbillies. But yeah, I mean, we got rid of some of the old rickety benches that we had in our locker room. Now it's all decked out in these nice orange chairs. And no, it's cool. It's awesome. The kids appreciate it, and I appreciated it, and it's awesome. So
now, you didn't tell the kids you were going to go do this. You just did it. What was their reaction when they walked into the locker room and saw some of the Brown stuff? Because they had the Browns on the side of their pants, right?
Yeah.
Those old ones, yeah.
Yeah, some of them it was. They were loving it because they were Browns fans.
Oh.
There's a couple of them that were like, I don't know if I can wear this. I said, listen, pretend we stole it off of them or something. I don't know. If that makes you feel better being a Steelers fan that you're wearing brown stuff, but it's our colors, man. So you know, if you want a nice Nike compression shirt in our color,
yep.
Just pretend that the Browns logo's not there if that's your deal. But me, I love it. So
I know you do.
That's fantastic.
That is a tough sell on this side of the table.
When my Coach Lloyd and I were heading down the turnpike, we had just pulled out of Berea, their practice facility, and he said, "Man, Coach, we were doing that. I felt like I should have been wearing a mask or something." But it was it was odd, but it was absolutely awesome, and I really appreciate the Browns for contacting us and giving us the opportunity to do that and helping our kids out in our program.
Now, my favorite part of that story has been taken out because Coach Mike went back for something.
I was loading up our first load. We had we found a little Gatorade wagon, so we stacked it up. It was heaped up, and as I was pulling it to my truck, stuff was falling off all over the place. So he was following behind. He ended up grabbing a table on wheels, and anything that I dropped, he would pick up and wheel it up. So I'm putting the stuff in the front of my truck, and as I'm finishing that up, he comes out with one of those water dispensers, you know, that holds the big jugs.
The hot and cold.
Has the hot and the cold. And I look at him, he goes, impulse buy.
It's free.
But he said it was an impulse buy. But yeah, they were giving them away. Somebody else snatched one up, and he said, I've been looking at one of these for a while and never pulled the trigger because they were just too expensive. So the price was right on that one, and he made the impulse buy.
If it's free, it's for me, right?
Yeah, oh, it was awesome.
All right, back onto the field for a moment here. From a standpoint of where this program is headed, I feel like it's on the right track. That win last year was bigger than most will ever appreciate over Ashtabula St. John. When you look at this year, what's the expectation for your players? Not looking at wins and losses, but looking at how they carry themselves on and off the field.
There's different things that we do week to week and challenges that we do throughout the off season. I want them to learn to compete, and they've gone through some hard times, and losing is a habit,
Mm-hmm.
and so is winning. So they've got to be able to kick this habit and try to change the mentality, because we went through it before where you have a stretch where things are down, the chips are down, but to turn that around, it's pretty difficult, because as soon as one thing happens that doesn't go in our favor, all of a sudden their mindset is, oh, here we go again, and avoiding that and overcoming that type of thought process is a challenge, especially for young kids that have been seeing it all the time. So we have to gauge where we're at and try to overcome those hurdles, and the wins will come, but we've got to get used to fighting and competing and dealing with those speed bumps and the hurdles, and then once you can realize that those things are going to happen, and we're just going to keep fighting and continue on, that's when the success will follow. So we're on our way. So again, we'll see what happens tomorrow night, and with the team that we're facing, we're going to have some bumps, but it's all in how we respond, and what's the team made of. I told them, when you deal with the adversity, are you going to start pointing fingers at each other, or are you going to bond together tighter? The only way you're going to get through it successfully is by bonding tighter and relying on your teammates.
I love it. Tony Foster, the Coach's Corner for East Palestine football here in 2021. This is episode 1. A couple more questions for you, Coach. We had a question earlier this year on our Power Hour, and it was really intriguing to me. And I've been really interested in how coaches answer this question, because there's rivalries still in sports, but many of them sometimes are taken away because I don't want to play this guy, or I don't want to play, between open enrollment and things of that nature. So the question is, would you rather be 1-9 and beat your rival and lose all the rest of your games, or 9-1 and lose to your rival? Playoffs are out of the question. You're only playing 10 games. It's tough.
That is tough. I want to beat the rival.
Incredible.
I want to beat the rival, because that's the one that means the most. Those other ones are there too, and they're meaningful, but the one that means the most is the rival game. So that's my answer. I'm sticking to it.
Do you miss the rivalry game being week 10? Because it's kind of shuffled now. I mean, with some of the changes.
Right. I thought that was a cool idea. I don't know why they ever went away from that.
Yeah.
But as it happens, rivalry game is going to be homecoming. So that's kind of nice too. That's something to look forward to.
All right, final question. Long summer for you. What was the best part for you personally?
Best part of the summer? Honestly, it's just being able to relax and spend time with the family and friends. I've got a house that has a porch and a pool and a patio, and seeing the kids enjoy it and the family enjoy it and friends and kids come over and enjoy it, that's why we did it. So those types of things are the most special, and that's what I enjoy the most.
And watch the Westminster Dog Show.
Well, you can't beat that.
We did that. We watched the Westminster Dog Show together.
I just censored myself a little bit just because we're on camera.
I know what you were going to say. We'll leave it there. That's going to do it for episode 1 of Coach's Corner with Tony Foster, the East Palestine football edition. Stay tuned next week for episode 2. Good luck against Malvern.
Thanks a lot, and go Bulldogs.